Thank you for coming to my channel. I decided to make a first video. This is not the first video I wanted to make, but I figured it's something for me, for my healing. I'm sorry that I'm not very good at this whole lighting and audio, and it's my first video, and I'm hoping that with time I figure it all out, but right now bear with me. The topic I am discussing today will be intimate partner violence, which is also known as domestic violence. I don't know if you can tell by my face, I have a gash across my forehead. I acquired that back in July of 2017, thanks to my husband who left me a gift. At the time, I was too afraid to do anything, and I was too afraid to say anything to anyone. I didn't press charges. I figured if I ignored it and we broke up that it would just go away. I don't know. I think fear kept me from talking and expressing what I was feeling. Now it's not only intimate partner violence, but it's also the fact that I'm a cancer patient. And I was diagnosed with cancer in 2015, pancreatic cancer, stage 3. And that's when the violence began in my house. I had just gotten married in August, and 2.5 months later I was diagnosed. I at first blamed myself, thinking, wow, here I am, I got sick, and he did a good job at making me feel horrible, like it was all my fault. And having cancer was hard. It is something that's very difficult to express or to deal with. And it's now that I'm finally going through the stages of grief. I have not had the opportunity to go through that because of all the violence that I had endured during this 3-year span, because it's June 6th of 2018, and I'm still here. But I think my wake-up call was last summer, when I got my scar. Prior to that, my husband and I were separated, had order protections. It didn't work. Okay, he was always finding me. He always tracked me down, and I live on a farm, so I'm in a very rural area. There's nothing but woods around me, and I have no family here. It's just me and my children. And so it's easier for him to hide here and stalk me. Now, I'm not going to say that law enforcement didn't help, but it takes him about 30 to 40 minutes to get to where I'm at. And as much as they helped, it still didn't deter him from continuing. It got to the point where I was like, it was easier to just be with him, because at least I knew where he was. At least I knew what he was doing. At least I knew what was going on. However, what I didn't realize is to the extent of what he was, I guess, thinking, or going through in his head, I will never understand that. I don't think it's possible. I don't think for me, I don't think like him. So I will never understand. And I'm okay with that now. I wasn't for a while. Anyway, July of 2017, I took a trip on my own with my kids, and I visited family for a family reunion, and I went to Daytona, my favorite beach in the whole planet. And I remember I was happy. I wasn't with him, but I was happy. I was satisfied. I don't know if you can see the picture. I'm so sorry, the lighting here. But as you can see, I was smiling. Yeah, I was very thin, because again, having cancer, I was thinner than usual. I was stressed out. But I smiled all the time. No scars. Cancer already has scarred my body, and this was my exciting time at the beach, because it was the first time I was showing off my scar. One of my scars is from my rib cage down to my belly button, and that was due to pancreatic surgery I had. I lost a few organs there, but you know, I'm still here, so that was I was okay with that. The cancer had spread and metastasized, so I did everything I had to do to stay alive, basically, and whatever regimen there was that they wanted me to go through, it's what I did. Now, in the beginning, the reason we were having so many problems is because he wanted me to ask him permission, and I'm sorry, but it's my life, and I was going to do whatever I had to do to survive. I wasn't asking anyone permission, and that's how the violence began, because he wanted me to ask his permission. Now, in July, again, I was happy, I was thrilled, I was by myself, I didn't have the stress, I was getting better, I was feeling better, but I decided to give him one more chance because I thought, here I am getting better. Maybe that'll help. Maybe that is something that, one thing that we could put past us. However, that was July 13th, and on July 27th, when I did give him a chance, this is what I ended up looking like. Now, I do not look like the same happy person I was over here, and it cost me a lot. It fractured my sinuses. I have a scar across my face, which is not too bad if it wasn't for the fact that it hurts me more than the cancer does right now. It's caused me to have sinus infections, and as a cancer patient, you know how our immune system is really low, and I'm having a really hard time fighting it, but I'm still good. I'm better than I was before. I realized that my emotional state was affecting me too. December was my absolute, I was done. I was to the point where I was getting sick again. I was feeling horrible. I was so stressed out, and I was scared. I was afraid. I was afraid to go to sleep. I was afraid to lay down. I was afraid to take any pain medicine, or because I never knew if he was going to show up. I never knew what was going on, and I thought, I can't live like this. It was the first time I pressed charges, and really, I'm still going through that now. Today was supposed to be a hearing, but we go to trial on the 14th of June. So I can't really get into too much of it right now until it's all over, and I'm hoping that it is over. But I wanted to come online and talk to whoever's watching. There is a way to get out of it. It's not going to be easy. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, oh, it's so easy, you can do this. No, it's hard. It is hard, and it's terrifying because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how it's going to end. You don't know if it's going to make him angrier. And I think that was my biggest fear. If he loved me so much like he claimed, and he was doing what he was doing, imagine if he hated me, or if I made him upset. That's where I was for such a long time. But then I realized that it doesn't matter, because I value my life. I have fought so hard to get where I'm at, and I know there's so many women and men in my situation, because I know men go through it as well. It might not be as common, but it does happen, and there are a lot of women, that I'm speaking to the majority of women, and please forgive me, and I'm not trying to make it less, but maybe because there are so many more women who are killed by their intimate partners, that I'm addressing that, and I don't want to make it lesser on the other. So please forgive me for that. I'm not trying to. It's not my intention. I'm just trying to address the statistics, which is 1 in every 5 women as opposed to 1 in every 73 men, and that's a big gap, and it's just a more common. But I'm coming to you as a cancer patient as well, because I know that as a cancer patient, that there are women who go through it. There are cancer patients, I should say, that go through domestic violence issues and don't speak out because they're afraid, because they have been going through all the other issues with themselves and they're afraid. It's as a cancer patient, the word victim demoralizes me, and I use that word very, very lightly, and very, like, I don't like it, because it means I have no discernment, and I need that judgment, that better judgment for my survivorship, and it's very, very important to me. You know, I can't speak for everyone, but I've seen it with my husband, who has made himself the victim in all of this, and has tried to turn it around. I have been arrested. They have arrested me, even though I was the one that called 911. It's a lot, but don't be afraid. There is help out there. There are people out there that are willing to help you. But at the end of the day, you have to take the initiative and you have to help yourself, because no one can do that for you. No one can get you to the next step, and that next step is to know when you had enough. Take your stuff. Have a safety plan. If you have someone you can confide in, make sure that they have emergency numbers, or they have an extra set of clothing for you. And if you have children, please, your children are watching this. Your children, this is building a foundation in their lives. I'm a mom, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, and I get it. I understand. I do. It's not easy. But what cancer taught me is that you can get through it. You just have to really, really want it. And your life is important. Your life is valuable. Your life, without you, the world is different. There are lessons and experiences and journeys, and there's an education in you that you can give someone else. You just haven't found it yet, but you have it. But you're never going to find it if someone else is taking it from you. I understand, because I allowed my husband to take that side of me. I almost gave up. I wanted to stop fighting. I did. I was done. I was tired. It wasn't worth it. But it wasn't because my life wasn't worth it. It was because of all the physical pain he was putting me through. So I'm coming to you to tell you there are organizations out there. There's one that comes to mind, and it's called thehotline.org. And I know that it's not easy to get to it. Browsers are being looked at, or whatever reason, or anything. But they also have a 1-800 number, which is 1-800-787-3224. 24 hours a day, 365 days a week. I do not work for them. I advocate for you getting help. It's the number that sticks in my head. And if you need someone to talk to, they're there. They are very helpful. They don't judge you. I've learned that no one judges you. They're not going to tell you it's your fault, because it's not your fault. You do have to take accountability for the things that are your fault, like allowing it to continue. And for me, that was hard to do, and I won't sit here and judge you and tell you otherwise, but I know it's very difficult. Just like they're never going to take accountability for what they do. They're always going to see themselves as the victim. They're always going to see that maybe it was something you did to upset them, or you caused it. It's okay. It's okay. Let them think whatever they want. Let them feel whatever they want. They're entitled to feel what they want. Just like you're feeling. You're entitled to that. But to be violated physically, nobody has that right. Nobody has the right to force you to see things their way, or to force you to do something, to stalk you, to put you in fear, whether it be a spouse or your significant other or a different family member. You have a right to live a good, happy life, productive life. You can't be productive if you're running on empty, and you have to take care of yourself. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you won't be able to take care of anyone else. Sometimes you do have to be selfish. I learned that, I learned that through my treatment. I learned that through the whole ordeal. Being a mom, I realized that the most important thing in my life were my children. I've been a homeschool mom for 15 years. I have older children. I am 43 years old, and you wouldn't think that someone my age would be going through this, but here I am. And, it happens to everyone. Doesn't matter your age or your background. Some people go through things, and I can't tell you what triggers it in their background, but I know that it's something that they have experienced, and you have to break that cycle. You have to break the cycle for yourself, and you need to get the help. You need to get out. You need to do it safely. I know it's not easy. I am not going to sit here and tell you that it is easy. I'm making this video to express what I'm feeling. Again, I know that my views are not going to be the same as everybody else's. I respect that, and I understand that. This being my first video, I just felt like I needed to say what I have to say. I needed to get it out in the air and clear it out so that I can start living. And that's what I'm doing. I'm finding me again, and I'm going through the process of grieving, something I didn't get to go through when I was first diagnosed, and being in my survivorship now, and now going through a hearing for domestic violence and a divorce. I am going through the grieving stages, and this is, I guess this is my acceptance stage. So anyway, I was just sharing that. This is my, like I said, the first video, but I'm hoping to bring you different topics. This is not how I wanted to start my channel, but it is what it is. My name is Michelle. Thank you for viewing my video, and if I can be of any assistance, a friend, anything, just, I'm here online. You can send me a message. I'll put my information on the bottom as well. If you want to email me, I'm more than happy. I do write a blog. It's a little hard because I have a lot of personal family things on the blog, and my children, and then I have a blog because I was farming for a while. So this is where I wanted to go, with the homeschooling and homesteading. But it's like everything's mashed in there, so you kind of got a little bit of everything. And I'm hoping that all the other videos after this will be better, and I'll have better news. And thank you. And if you know someone who's going through this, please understand that sometimes it's a wake-up call for them, and they need that. And just be supportive and be there. If you can be their safety plan, it'll be great, because they'll need it. At the end, they're going to need it. It took me 3 years and multiple tries to get away before I finally had enough. And it's true. They do say that it takes about 6 to 9 times, and I never thought that I would be one of them. I didn't think that I would ever be a victim, but to some extent I was. And this is me taking back my power, and this is me finding my normal. So as one human being to another, I hope you're having a great day. I hope that somewhere along the line, you find your bliss and you find what you want and just go for it and let everything else go. Let everything else go, and just life is awesome. Life is awesome, and we just gotta live it. And that's it. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you. Have a great day.